Hello YouTube. It's been a while, hasn't it? We're just a few days away from it being over 3 months since I last uploaded on this channel, and this video is mostly to say that I'll be returning to a full-time schedule making and uploading content on this channel from next Tuesday. I'll also be talking about some of the changes to the channel as well as my video series concerning AshVlogs and the status of the documentary I was in the process of creating prior to my disappearance at the end of last year. So next Tuesday I'll be uploading my latest progress video for my Max series. It will cover the progress that I've made on my main old school RuneScape account Vazela as I edge closer to achieving the max total level and finally finishing off my account. This February will mark 6 years since I started playing the account, and I've been playing to max its total level since July of 2016, so it's pretty much taken me 2 and a bit years to max. I'm expecting to finish my max grind in March, and I have recorded 4 progress videos regarding Vazela over the past 3 months. I just need to finish editing them and putting them together into episodes. When I finish maxing the account, I will likely start making another video talking about what I'll do next on old school. As some of you may know, the entire concept of my max series is to achieve the max total level on all of the various game modes and account types that exist in RuneScape. This is still an overall goal that I want to accomplish, but I haven't decided what my next account will be. In regards to some changes that I've made to the channel, I want to spend a moment to talk to you about an upcoming project that I'll be starting next week. Since I began creating old school RuneScape content on this channel, I have stuck primarily to showing the progress of the accounts that I own, as well as covering some of the updates that I've made in the game, looting videos, and occasionally playing some Deadman mode. This type of content won't change on this channel, as I want this channel to be about my personal experiences and gameplay on old school RuneScape, but at the same time I want to start creating other videos that I don't think will be suitable for this channel. So I'm going to create a brand new YouTube channel that I'm going to be calling the Old School Wiki, and this channel's purpose is to bring the articles that can be found on the actual Old School Wikipedia to a video essay format. The objective of this new YouTube channel will be to cover every article on the Old School Wikipedia and give them a digestible quality video essay that will make it quicker for those of us who play old school RuneScape to learn what we need to know to help our gameplay, rather than taking the moment to stop playing and read what the article is about. I got this idea from watching Slayermyth's quest guides, as he brought to life the old style of reading and following guides that were written up on websites such as RuneHQ and turned them into video, which actually made questing for a lot of players easier than the old method of reading the first step of a quest guide, doing that step, then stopping to read the next step and repeating until the quest was complete. You can find a link to this YouTube channel that I've set up for this new project in the description of this video. There isn't actually any content uploaded to it yet, but there will be some time next week. Other changes to this channel include the startup of my Patreon page and BitTube channel. I've set up a Patreon page where if you would like to show some support to the channel, you can join the $1 Patreon tier that I've set up. Joining this tier will give me $1 a month for those who join, and those who do become a patron of mine will be featured in the end credits of each episode of Max that I upload on this channel. Patreon is the best way to show support to this channel, and I'd like to thank those in advance who become a patron of mine. There is another way to help support the channel financially, and it doesn't cost you any money. I've recently started up a BitTube channel, and this website allows its content creators and audience to generate cryptocurrency by watching videos and streams across BitTube, YouTube and Twitch. If you head over to my BitTube channel and subscribe, you will then be able to download the BitTube app. When you install this into your browser, you can begin mining cryptocurrency for every piece of content that you watch across a wide array of channels, and then you can use the cryptocurrency that you've generated to tip myself on my BitTube channel. I've linked a video on BitTube to the description of this video that explains how you can support content creators and how you can begin mining cryptocurrency. And now it's time to discuss AshVlogs. As a lot of you know, I have been in the process of creating a documentary about AshVlogs and the I Know Where She Is mystery that has become a viral sensation over the past 9 months. The last upload that I had on this channel before I disappeared covered the fact that I'd be conducting an interview with members of the I Know Where She Is Discord server. I asked you to leave your questions in the comments of that video, and I would then ask those questions during the interview. I was planning to use the interview as a segment in the documentary that I was making. Unfortunately, that interview never happened. Some of it is my fault, and some of the fault lays with the people that I was going to interview. You see, when I proposed to the server that I would like to interview some of them, I was met with enthusiasm. There were two people in particular that wanted to be interviewed, and we agreed to do it on the day after I uploaded my video when I was asking you guys for some questions to ask them. However, when I logged onto Discord at the agreed time to do the interview, I was told by the two people that I was supposed to be interviewing that they would not be able to do it that night. So we arranged to conduct the interview on Friday the next week. I have to admit that I was kind of glad that we rearranged it for a week later, as I realised that arranging to do the interview so soon was a bad idea, seeing as it had been rushed and the week would give me time to draw up my own questions, as well as use some of the ones that you guys gave me to use. However, some personal shit happened in the week leading up to the interview, and it was that same shit which is the reason why I haven't been able to upload anything on this channel for the past 3 months. Due to what was happening in real life, I logged onto Discord 2 hours late from the agreed time on the next Friday that we rearranged to go to, and the two people who agreed to be interviewed were not pleased with me, to say the least. Because of this, they declined to be interviewed anymore. They were angry that I was 2 hours late, and on top of that, they didn't like the questions that I had drawn up for them in advance to answer during the interview. They were also unhappy that I sent the questions only 1 day in advance, and explained that I hadn't given them enough time to answer the questions in the first place. To put the cherry on top, they also said that they and most of the Discord server weren't happy that I hadn't done much in the way of helping them out with the investigation, in terms of cracking clues that were being left behind for us to find by I Know Where She Is, and that I wasn't very active in the server in the first place. For all these reasons, I was removed from the server, and I haven't been able to log back on Discord since due to my in real life circumstances, so I've not been able to rejoin the server. Losing the interview and my place in the Discord server were two huge blows to the documentary that I was making. Around 90% of the information that my documentary was going to cover came from the investigation that the members of the I Know Where She Is server had conducted over the past 6 months coming up to October 2018. My role in that server was blatant and obvious to its members. I told the guy who runs the server why I joined it, and that I was going to be covering the investigation that they were conducting on YouTube. He was fine with this so long as I showed him each video that I made before uploading them to my channel, which I agreed to. I know there will be some of you in the server who will be watching this video, and I want to take this moment to say that I would like to be invited back in, because without you and the investigation that all of you have conducted on AshVlogs, I won't be able to create the documentary. I know that the majority of you were angry and annoyed with the other channels that were covering the ARG, as most of them lied or plagiarized your work. Unlike Rakaraka or Reenbot, I have never lied about any of you, and I don't plagiarize your work. Every video that I've ever made about AshVlogs was made with the permission of the server admins who reviewed each video before I made them and before they were uploaded. I wouldn't have uploaded any of the videos that I made without your permission, as that would have led to me being removed from the server in the first place. I can only apologise for turning up to the interview late, and that the questions that I had drawn up were not to your satisfaction. I really couldn't help with the latest, as my circumstances at the time were making it difficult for me to do anything, least certainly make YouTube videos, and the majority of the questions that I gave you to answer were made up by the people in the comments of the video. Perhaps we can sort things out so that I can get back to covering the truth and not sensationalizing the ARG as other YouTube channels have done. Up until the interview and the removal from the server, the majority of you were happy with my coverage of the ARG, and I intend to continue covering the ARG with the same standard of coverage should I return to the investigation. If I do receive another invite to the server, then part 2 of the documentary AshVlogs Dead or Alive will be back on. I should begin working on part 2 sometime after if I get to rejoin the server. If I am declined from joining, then I won't be able to make the documentary, but I will finish my AshVlogs series by sharing what I knew prior to me being kicked out of the server to finish that series up. So that just covers about everything. Despite the fact that I started and ended 2018 badly on YouTube, it turned out that last year was the best year that I've ever had on the platform. I grew the channel quite a lot in subscribers and views despite being on a limited upload schedule. We're close to 1,000 subscribers, which is very exciting stuff, as I'm getting to my first 1,000 on this platform is one of the hardest things that you can do on YouTube. I hope 2019 is going to be a lot better. So I'll see you next Tuesday in my next Max episode. Thanks for listening to me, and remember to check my description of this video for all my relevant links. Goodbye.